Hello and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 14th and as well as 16th January 2025. On 15th January there is no Hindu publication because of the Sankranti festival. So we are going to see those 2 days current affairs together in this single video. Okay, and one more thing here is whenever you are selecting an article to study in your newspaper, it should be relevant to your syllabus. If you are selecting any article which is not there in your syllabus, it is waste of your time. So don't do that. And prelims is very much near. I hope you are focusing on prelims and try to make your own strategy. In that strategy, try to include completion of your static syllabus thoroughly, at least 4 times of revision, including previous questions analysis, and as well as you have to find out which are the important articles or important current affairs which are there in news on which you can expect a question. So in all these areas you should be perfect so that you can crack this examination. Okay, I wish you all the best for you guys. And now let's get started with our analysis. So if you see this first article, it is saying that inflation falls to 4-month low in December. So what is the keyword which is there in this article? So the keyword here is inflation. So where you can see this topic from GS paper 3 under economy. So in economy there is an entire chapter which is related to inflation guys. So it is very important. So if you see regarding this topic, first you have to see what is this inflation. So inflation is nothing but there is increasing of prices of goods and services in market. So whenever there is increasing of prices than compared to that of normal prices or general prices, this condition is called as inflation. So here you have to see what are the different types of inflation. So we have 3 types of inflation: demand pull inflation, cost push inflation, and built-in inflation. So demand pull is nothing but whenever there is increasing of demand for the goods or services, then there will be increasing of price. So this kind of increasing of price because of increasing of demand is called as demand pull. And what is this cost push? Whenever there is increasing of price of raw material. So without raw material, we can't make that good, right? So if there is increasing of price of this raw material, ultimately it will leads to increasing of overall price of good. And this kind of inflation is called as cost push. And next one is built-in inflation. So in this inflation, because of changing of economic status and lifestyle of people, there will be increasing of demand for some goods. That type of inflation is called as built-in inflation. And next here you have to see what are the other important causes of inflation. And also you have to see what are the measures taken by the government. So whenever you are seeing measures, we have 2 types of measures. One is measures taken by RBI, that is Central Bank of India, which comes under monetary policy, that is MP, monetary policy. So in this monetary policy, what RBI does is increasing or decreasing of interest rates like repo rate, reverse repo rate, CLR, CRR, SLR, like that. Okay, to control the money supply in the market. And even our government of India will be also taking some measures. Such measures are called as fiscal policy. So in this fiscal policy, there are 2 components, that is increasing or decreasing of taxes, and next one is increasing or decreasing of public spending. So these 2 are the things that will be taken care of by the government. And here you have to see, because of this inflation, what is the impact? What is the impact of inflation? You have to see. So if you see all these dimensions, then it is okay. And here you have to say about what is this encasing committee which said about what is the limit of this inflation. So as of now, the limit of inflation is 4 plus or minus 2%. That means 2 to 6% is the limit that we have to maintain inflation. Okay, so these are the things that you have to see, guys. And now let us move on to next topic. Title says Rupee at 86.7 0 to US dollar, lowest point in 2 years. So this article is saying that falling of rupee value. There is decreasing of rupee value against dollar. So where you can see this topic from GS paper 3 under economy. So from economy point of view, we will be seeing this topic. So where exactly we will be seeing? So we have a concept called as the value of rupee. So here in this value of rupee, we have three concepts. That is rupee appreciation. Next one is rupee depreciation. Next one is rupee devaluation. Appreciation is nothing but there is increasing of value of rupee. So whenever value of rupee is increasing, that is called as appreciation. So exactly opposite to this, we have this concept of depreciation, that is decreasing of value of rupee. And devaluation is nothing but government will be decreasing value of currency. That is called as devaluation. So here this appreciation, depreciation are based on demand and supply in the market. That means it is related to market forces. It is related to market forces, but this devaluation is done by government. So this devaluation of currency is normally practiced in China. So because of this, now China is it is the largest exporter of goods in the country because of devaluation of Chinese currency. So actually this article is saying that there is decreasing of value of rupee. That means now $1 is equal to 86.7 rupees. For example, if you take the standard to make you understand what is appreciation and depreciation, if you are taking one standard like $1 is equal to 70 rupees. For example, if now $1 is equal to 86.7 rupees. For example, $1 is equal to 60 rupees. So here, if you take the standard, there is decreasing of value, right? So that means here in this case, there is strengthening of rupees happening. Strengthening of rupee. So this concept is called as appreciation. So here what happened? Weakening of rupee is happening. So weakening of rupee is nothing but your depreciation. I hope you understood. So here you have to see what are the reasons for depreciation of rupee. Value of rupee is decreasing, but why? So whenever there is increased demand for dollar, whenever there is increased demand for dollar, what happened? Dollar value will be decreasing and rupee value will be decreasing. So this is the thing that you have to remember. So here you have to identify what are the important causes for the depreciation of Indian rupee now. For example, I can give you some basic things so that you can understand this thing clearly. It is because of, for example, decreasing of investment in our country. Whenever we are not attracting investment, we are not attracting dollars. And on the other side, there will be increasing of demand. And next one is whenever FPI is going out from our country. Whenever FPI is going out from our country, then also dollar value will be increased. And next one here is whenever increasing of trade deficit, we have to pay in dollars. So because of this also dollar value will be increasing. So these are the three major primary reasons why there is increasing of demand for dollar and decreasing of value of rupee. Okay, now let us see next article. Prime Minister inaugurates Jhelum Tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir, remains silent on statehood. So actually this article is talking about one important thing, that is Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, if you are talking about Jammu and Kashmir, it is part of our country, so we can study this topic under geography. And from GS paper 2 under polity also we can study, because it is getting some special category status under this article 370, but it had been abrogated in 2019. And next one here is Jammu and Kashmir is also having some special status. So that is also can be studied under GS paper 2 under governance. And the government came up with this Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act. in year 2018 or 2019, and after that this Jammu and Kashmir made as what, UT with legislative assembly. Okay, now actually government gave an assurance that we are going to give the statehood for this Jammu and Kashmir. Now this article is talking that our Prime Minister, he is silent on statehood, and he inaugurated Jhelum Tunnel. So here recently many tunnels had been inaugurated in India, and especially mountain passes is one important and favorite area of UPSC where you can get prelims based question. So here you have to know about some facts regarding this Jhelum Tunnel. Okay, so now let us see this topic in detail. The Prime Minister inaugurated Jhelum Tunnel, and the important aim of this tunnel, it is to improve all weather connectivity between Ladakh and Kashmir. So we want to increase connectivity between this Ladakh and Kashmir. So finally this Jhelum Tunnel had been inaugurated. So if you see the location of this tunnel, it is 6.5-kilometer tunnel and is located around 8,650 feet in Kashmir, and it is very important because it is bypassing some avalanche prone areas on this three-legged Leh highway, so it is very important. And actually this tunnel was built under Tajwas glacier. It is very important, you have to note somewhere, and it has been renamed as Sonamarg Tunnel. So if you see here what is the strategic importance of this, it is paired with the Dojila Tunnel and will be also helpful for improving of road access to Ladakh. And here this is also very useful for both military and as well as civilian purpose. So these are some important things that you have to see from this article. And now let us see next topic. It is about anti-tank guided missile NAC Mk2 tested successfully. So this article is talking about anti-tank guided missile. So this article is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology. Okay, so here missile is nothing but it is like a rocket, but it will be carrying warheads, right? Here you have to understand what is the meaning of missile, and you have to see which kind of warheads it can take or it can carry, and you have to see the types of missiles. You have to see the types of missiles and what is the significance of this missile, and you have to see examples of different missiles that are operating in India. So in these types we have 6 classifications. For example, where we are launching, like surface to surface, air to air, surface to air missiles, and you have to see based on the speed, subsonic, hypersonic, supersonic, like that. And even based on the path, we have cruise missiles and we have ballistic missiles. So like that you have to see the different types of these missiles which are present. You have to see the different types of missiles which are present, and you have to see even the examples for each, so that you can see this thing very clearly, and you may get a question from this area for sure. And this is the one important and favorite area of UPSC also. So now let us see some facts regarding this. What is this NAG Mk2 missile? So DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, announced that indigenously developed third generation fire and forget anti-tank guided missile, and the name here is NAG Mk2. So here this NAG Mk2, it is indigenous developed, that means it developed in India, and it is third generation anti-tank fire and forget guided missile. So what is the meaning of fire and forget? Means if you are starting that, if you are firing that, then it will be reaching the target automatically. So there is no need of changing anything. Once it is done, yes, it will be hitting the target for sure. That is called as fire and forget guided missile. So it is third generation fire and forget technology, and because of this it enables precision targeting with minimal operator intervention. So there is no need of intervention during this path of this missile, and it is capable of neutralizing even modern armored vehicles which are equipped with explosive radiative armor. And actually it has been successfully integrated with Namika, so that we are enhancing our battlefield mobility and as well as development flexibility. And during the three field trials, so missile system destroyed precisely and all the targets maximum and minimum range. And next important point here is this missile carrier version was also field evaluated, and entire weapon system is now ready for induction into our Indian Army. Okay, now let us see the next topic. It is about doctors from 14 nations seek change in India linked name of hard to treat fungus. So this article is talking about one fungus, and the fungus is resistant to many antifungal drugs. It is resistant to many antifungal drugs. Okay, and it is spreading skin disease. And this fungus is spreading skin disease. And now 14 nations, they gave the name for this fungus, especially in the species name which is linked to India. So because of this, now India is not wanted that, and India wants to remove that. Okay, because of this, now India is fighting. This article is important from your science and technology, which comes under especially disease topic. There you will be studying about this bacteria, fungus, microorganisms and their diseases, etc. And even it is important from your GS paper to under international relations. There you will be studying about role of India. Role of India in other countries. So that is the thing that you have to see. And even you have to see role of WHO. So here over 30 dermatologists, they have proposed renaming a new skin disease, and this is caused by a fungus. And the name given to that fungus is Trichophyton indiotine, and it had been named after India. And they're arguing that so more than 40 nations without any confirmation of India being the country of origin. So many countries are saying that so this fungus, it had been originated from India. So we are going to give that name. So if you see some facts regarding this fungus, it is a fungal pathogen. It is a fungal pathogen. It can cause difficult to treat skin infections, and it is widely reported from India. And this fungus was named after India in 2020 itself, who gave this name by a Japanese group. And they found that this virus is having some isolates. So it is from India and as well as Nepal. And here, academic practice of identifying a new pathogen after the country where it was first cited. So as you all know that even Ebola virus, which is also named after the place where it had been found. So like that, so they find that these fungus came from India and Nepal, and they gave this name Indionate. So here the fungus has been documented in over 40 countries, and it is belonging to dermatophyte group. Dermatophytosis, it is a superficial infection. So this infection which is seen in skin and as well as hair, nails by this dermatophyte fungi. So this fungus, Indotine, so which causes inflammation and as well as itching, and it is also often widespread, and this is affecting groin area, gluteal region, trunk region, face, etc. So different body parts getting affected by this fungus. And next one is the patients of all ages and genders, they are affected. It is not like it is affecting only children or middle age group or old age group. Everyone is equally vulnerable. So here this spread which happens through direct contact and as well as contaminated objects, etc. And it is also resistant against the first line antifungal agent, that is terbinafine. So because of this, it is one of the cause of concern. And let us see the next article. It is about transforming mentalities. Mentalities redefining masculinity. So this article, it is talking about male dominance. They gave directly her mentalities. It is about ability of men. Okay. So men dominant society. This article is talking about men dominant society. So this article is important from GS paper to under governance, and even from GS paper 1 and 2 from society and social issues point of view, and even it is important from GS paper 3 under economy, and even this topic is important from GS paper 2 under polity, because we have fundamental rights, which says article 14, right to equality. But here we are seeing that there is a male dominance or men dominance that is violating this article 14 of Indian constitution. So if you see the context, it says that the article highlights the need to engage men in ending violence against women. This article entirely focusing about this male dominant society. Now we have to end violence against women by challenging harmful masculinity norms. So as you all know that if you're comparing men and women, so men are strong, that you all know, and even they are having masculine body. So because of this, here we need to come up with this masculinity norms. And this article which discusses that UNESCO's transforming men initiatives, and a report documenting Indian programs. And actually, Indian programs are focusing or promoting on equality, empathy, and non-violence through education dialogues. So now let us try to see what are the important points to said in this article. So why there is violence against women is happening? Because men as perpetrators, they are agents of change. So nearly one in every three Indian women, not only Indian women but even globally also, they are facing violence from men. That means it is highlighting that men's role in both perpetuating and addressing the issue. And next one is we are also having very harmful masculinity norms. The boys are conditioned to equate strength with dominance, and even they will see emotions as weaknesses. And because of this reason, there is increasing of aggressive behavior, and as well as limits. It also limits healthy relationship. And this one is impact on men's lives. So here toxic masculinity traps men in the cycles of suppressed emotions and as well as aggressive behaviors. So because of this, it will be affecting their relationship and as well as personal growth. Okay, so in this way here violence against women is happening and it is a main issue. And even UNESCO gave some highlights regarding this. UNESCO's Transforming Mentalities initiatives, and this initiative, which is saying that we have to engage men as active participants in promoting gender equality. So, if you're saying that we have to promote gender equality, it will be not easy. So, when we are including men, then only we can come up with this. And next one is UNESCO also came up with a report called as Engaging Men and Boys. So in this, here UNESCO came up with a documentation of 10 pioneering programs, and these programs are addressing this problem of gender inequality. So these programs encourage dialogues to challenge gender norms, and as well as they are promoting positive masculinities. So if you see some intervention so far, the first one is Mardan Wale Bath. So this uses storytelling and as well as social media. So in this way, they are trying to help the young men to critically examine the limiting narratives and how these values are promoting or like giving the respect and equality. The next one is gender equality movements in schools. So here we are also focusing on gender equality movements in schools where we are engaging boys in Rajasthan through interactive activities. That is, one boy stated that boys should also work at home. So in this way, from the schools itself, we are coming up with gender equality movement, and we are also coming up with some initiatives like Dekh Rekh and Hamari Shadi. So tackle everyday gender bias by encouraging men to participate in family as well as nutrition and also planning. So what is the way forward? If you see the way forward, the first point you have to remember here is we have to reject harmful stereotypes, and men should equally contribute to this gender equality. And next one is we should not we should question this patriarchal privileges, and we have to promote equality so that we can build a world free from violence. And finally, UNESCO is saying that let us celebrate men transforming mentalities and championing equality. And next article, it is about rat hole mining. So title says that rat hole mining, why the practice continues in spite of its hazards. So you know that in Assam, so because of this rat hole mining, unfortunately that mining had been trapped by water, and now rescue operations are still going on, and most of them had found dead, and they are removing the dead bodies from that mining site. So here in this context you have to see about what is rat hole mining, and what are the different types of this rat hole mining, and what is the impact of this mining, and what is the way forward. If you see all these areas, it's okay. Okay, now let us see what is this given in this article, and this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under environment and ecology, and GS paper 3 under disaster management. Next you have to see in which areas we are having this from GS paper 1 under geography. Now let us see here some facts regarding this rat hole mining. Rat hole mining, it is a method of extracting coal from narrow horizontal seams. So we are going for extracting of coal from a narrow horizontal thing, and actually it involves digging tunnels. So there will be a hill, under this they will go for digging of the tunnels, and this will be like 3 to 4 feet deep, and hardly so this size of the hole will allow them to crawl, not even sit. And this type of rat hole mining is commonly seen in Meghalaya, and the tunnels are very narrow that workers they have to squat while extracting coal with pickaxes. And in this rat hole mining, we have two types. One is side cutting mining, and next one is box cutting mining. So here in the side cutting mining, so they will go for digging of a very narrow tunnels. Okay, and in the box cutting, so they will dig a circular or squarish pit at a 5 square meters. Okay, so here they can squat in this box cutting mining. And this rat hole mining, it is one of the serious cause of concern for the workers' health, because that will leads to asphyxiation. That is nothing but they will be not getting proper air to breathe, normal ventilation, and there is also a lack of structural support and flooding. And if you see here, it is also has some severe negative implications on this environment as well. For example, land degradation is there, and deforestation, water pollution, loss of life, loss of property, everything will happen. And now let us see today's news. Okay, I completed last day's news, and now let us see the today's news. The first topic is about Gaza ceasefire agreement ready, US and Hamas. So this article is talking about Gaza ceasefire. So you have to see about GS paper 1 under geography, that where is the location of this Gaza located, and what is this Israel Palestine issue, and where is this Gaza located, and you have to see about what is the role of international organization in getting this peace in this region. And even you have to see about what is happening in this ceasefire agreement. So what are the terms and conditions, whether this Hamas will be accepting it or not, and who are these Houthis, who are this Hamas, and you have to see what are the boundaries of this everything that you have to know, and there is a very high chance of getting question. So if you see the context, it says that a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas have been reached. Okay, finally, at last, we are going to have a ceasefire agreement. So if you see some important points which are highlighted in this article, the first one is this agreement is the result of indirect tax, and these indirect talks was facilitated by US, Egypt, and as well as Qatar. So these three countries, they showed a lot of interest. Okay, and these negotiations highlights about the complexity of achieving the peace in the region, and it also had been marked by deep-rooted conflict and as well as historical grievances. So recently also they came up with an agreement, but it had not been came to end. So we don't know like what is the future of this agreement they came up. So here the situation the Gaza is very dire. Like for example, 90% of population, 2.3 million residents, they are displaced, and even their basic service also in the collapse. And this agreement, while a step forward, so we don't know like whether it will be providing some sustainable efforts to address this humanitarian issue or not. Okay, and here we have to see like, so this agreement will be providing some international community involvement, and it will be very much essential, or it will be very crucial for this Gaza effectively, and especially we can go for reconstruction efforts as well. So these are some priority areas. So if you see what are the terms and conditions in this ceasefire, the first one is hostage release. So this deal which promises the phased release of dozens of hostages. And next one here is even they are going for returning of displaced people or displaced persons. So hundreds of thousands of displaced Palestinians, they may return their homes after this agreement. And next one is this ceasefire will facilitate with delivery of much needed humanitarian aid. Okay, and next important point here is negotiations on war. So the ceasefire which also explicit to open negotiations which are aimed at ending of war completely. And even there is also international pressure, for example US pressure, Egypt pressure, Qatar pressure. So because of this they are going to come up with this agreement. So these are some important things that you have to see from this article. And now let us see the next topic. It is about trade deficit in December at 3-month low. Goods exports dip 1%. So this article is talking about one important keyword. So that keyword is trade deficit. So from which subject you will be seeing? From GS paper 3 under economy, you will be seeing this topic. So here, what is the meaning of trade? Trade is nothing but it includes two things: imports and exports. So whenever imports are more compared to that of exports, then that will leads to trade deficit. Whenever exports are more compared to that of imports, that will leads to trade surplus. Okay, so this article is saying that trade deficit in month of December. That means we are importing costly goods. We are increasing our imports compared to that of our exports. So here this article which indirectly saying that the government of India need to take care or take some measures regarding how to increase our exports. Clear? So just see about what is this trade deficit and what is this IMF, what is this WTO and their role. And next topic here you can see a beautiful image of a buffalo. So it is buffalo taming sport called as Jellikattu. So this article is important from GS paper 1 under history point of view. So here you can get a prelims based question for sure this year regarding cockfights, as well as Jellikattu, Kambala, etc. So now let us see some facts. So Jellikattu, it is a traditional sport, and this sport is very much popular in South Indian states of Tamil Nadu. And this sport which involves releasing a wild bull into the crowd of the people, and the participants they are allowed to attempt to grab the bull's hump and ride it for as long as possible, or they have to attempt to bring it under their control. This game is called as Jellikattu. So this is normally celebrated in month of January in this Tamil Nadu's harvest festival that is called as Pongal. So if you see here, what are the concerns regarding this Jellikattu? So the primary and very important concerns involved in this Jellikattu is, yes, it comes under cultural right to protection of culture, comes under Article 21 subclass 1. So Article 21 subclass 1, which is a fundamental right, and it is guaranteed under which part? Part 3 of our Indian Constitution. And it is nothing but protection of cultural and educational rights. So this here, if you see, the court examined if the laws perpetuate cruelty to animals, they were actually means to ensure that survival and well-being of the native breed of bulls. So actually, if you see here, Kambala and like that in AP also we have this rooster fights, etc. So they are violating this wildlife protection act. But even now the states are saying that they are focusing on protecting of their native breeds. So recently on 5 judge bench which heard the parties, and finally they said that yes, we can go for continuation of this Jellikattu, but we should not go for violation of this rule, and we have to go for common practice. Okay, now let us see next article. It is about submarine two warships commissioned in one go. So recently we discussed about a topic called as INS Surat and as well as INS Nilgiri, INS Vakshir. Okay, I'll write here. I think you may not see on the screen. First one is INS Vakshir, INS Nilgiri. Next one is INS Surat. So we have one submarine and 2 warships. They had been commissioned in one go, which is a part of your GS paper 3 under science and technology. So I think 1 week ago we discussed about these two, INS Vakshir and INS Nilgiri, in detail. So just go to that class and revise that. And there is a high chance of getting your prelims based question from this area. And now let us see the next article. 28 spotted deer dot every square kilometers of Nagarhole Tiger Reserve in Karnataka. So whenever you are seeing any national park is in news, it is very important, guys. This is one of the favorite area where UPSC can ask questions. So if you see some facts regarding this Nagarhole National Park, it is also known as Rajiv Gandhi National Park. Rajiv Gandhi National Park, and was established as a wildlife sanctuary in year 1955. And finally, it had been upgraded as a national park in year 1988, and it was declared as 37th Tiger Reserve under this Project Tiger. So where is park located? Park located in this Western Ghats as a part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. And actually this Nagarhole River which flows through this park, and this park which joins this Kabini River, and is also the boundary which is present between this Nagarhole and as well as Bandipur National Park. So if you see the flora which is present here, so we can see the vegetation called moist deciduous forest. Predominantly we have taken as well as rosewood. And regarding fauna, we have different types of wild variety of fauna. The first one is Asian elephants. We have cheetah, that is spotted bear, Indian mouse deer, gaur, striped necked, ruddy mongoose, and we have grey langur and macaque, Asian wild pig, leopard, tiger, sloth bear, and even some other animal species also we can found. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to see. And next topic is Burrow tragedy. India must learn from its mining disasters and enforce regulations. So this article is talking about especially rat hole mining. So here rat hole mining is predominantly seen in this northeast area. Okay, especially in the state of Assam and Meghalaya, we can see this northeast area. And here you have to see what are the important causes of this coal mining, and you have to see why the people here they are using this Here they are using these traditional methods. Why not they are going for the other rat hole minings? And you have to see very important thing which is called as what types of this rat hole mining. So there are two types of rat hole mining, and you have to see what is the impact of this rat hole mining. And next one is you have to see what are the possible measures can be taken by the government to control this rat hole mining. So already we discussed about this topic clearly in our earlier, so I'm not going to see that article in detail. So just go through this. So these are the some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, guys. And we started anthropology new batch online and offline. And if you want to join that, you can contact us on this number 8074765513. And even new foundation batch is going to be started. So if you want to take admission, you can call us on the same number. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope you can understand what are the things that I am facing now, technical issues and issues from my kids, my family, everything. But irrespective of anything, I am trying to record the video. So I hope you appreciate my efforts. And please do like this channel, and as well as subscribe to this channel, like this video and share this video. Thank you, guys.